All right, everyone. Here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NEO Inc. And before I jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys find it informative and helpful. And that is my goal here, for you guys to learn something new and benefit from this information, right? And I also like to analyze the charts so you guys as investors have some type of cues and guidance for the next trading day. All my subscribers, I want to say thank you always for supporting, always for hitting the like button and let me know you watch this video and not forgetting to do so. That is really important right there in my eyes, and it speaks volumes about you guys, because when you guys hit that like button, you're not just letting me know you like the video, that you found it helpful and notifying me, but you're also letting YouTube suggest my videos to more people. So I really appreciate that. It lets it move through the algorithms of the system. I'd rather just be honest and share it with you guys. That's the best way to support me, and I appreciate the comments down below always. And when you guys engage in conversation with one another, that also speaks volumes about the community that we have here and what we're here for, right? So let's jump into this chart and see what happens. So the first thing is this catalyst, right? Very bullish run, interesting, very strong, and then there was a slight fall off. So the first thing is yesterday they announced how many cars they delivered, how much they rose year to year, right? Year over year in percentage, which is just showing great news that there's some revenue happening and so forth. But we need to know in other terms when earnings comes, right? Which should be coming sometime soon, right? That's August 20th. Is there a possibility that revenue's coming in, but is there profits? Because their expected earnings is negative 0.25. And obviously they have some debt. This is still a growing company. And if we go back to the previous earnings, which I like to look at that, let's see when it was. Wow, it's taking a little long to get there. When was that? We're still in June. It was probably in May. This earnings was obviously an estimate of negative 0.24, and it was up by I think 1%. I mean, it landed on the exact amount. There was a small surprise, but even though this company broke even, look what happened from that moment forward. That's where this whole catalyst happened, all the way to where we're at now. And interesting enough, it had a downward spiral, and we're about to hit earnings again. So that's good news for an investor that is feeling strong about the company and so forth. That's another reason why a lot of investors got in. If revenue went up, that means that profits should be going up and so forth. It doesn't always mean that, but hypothetically speaking, it should be, right? And most likely it could be. There's still 2 or 3 weeks until earnings, but that's going to be a significant player on how much higher this will go in the next coming days. So that is very important and interesting to know and watch throughout how this plays out. Now, I'm going to zoom in and take a look at another thing as well. So the moment it fell finally below the 50-day moving average, it was slowly hanging out there, and it tried to break through it, and it fell back down to newer lows. This low right here, it brought it all the way up, right? Almost by $3. And the reason why this catalyst happened, it's not because of anything negative or the company's not legit or people, aren't believing in it and so forth. It's just in simple terms, either investors that got in up here at $13 and wanted to cash out up here at $14, breaking even as this was going down. I mean, there could be some investors that got in anywhere in those highs and we're clocking out without noticing that, there's still potential in this stock, and it's clearly showing that, especially with this news and how it reacted since its last earnings and the expected earnings. If they get beat, I mean, that could just be a game changer for this company as people may start believing in it. And then another thing too, if you were an investor and you got in somewhere around the $11 mark, even though this was a very short-term run, you would have probably sold and took profits. So all of this is either fear of not seeing this go any higher and you got in somewhere up here, or just taking profits in general. But it brought it back down to the 50-day moving average. So the bears are close on their way to gaining control on this one again. The 50-day moving average is 1327. That is literally a hair away from the closing price. 1364 at 4 p.m. and 1335 at 8 p.m. market close. And that is the 50-day moving average of 1327. What's the difference? Literally 8 cents. So the bears are on their way to gaining control on this one. So the tug of war is going to be interesting tomorrow and the upcoming days. For this to have a bullish run or continue or start a catalyst again, bulls have to break to 1371, use this as support, and work their way up to newer highs. Very important as well for the run to continue and begin. And on the other hand, once the 50-day moving average is broken through, it could be well on its way to break through support, and support is 1323. If this continues to break down through that, it will start to fall into bearish territory. Bears are gaining control, moving it further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward trend. And two things can happen. Either the bears maintain the control, or the bulls are going to reappear, stock up on stocks, and bring this one back up. So that is going to be very interesting to pay close attention to as well. Another thing too, this market cap changes quickly every time this stock goes up and down between $10 that I've seen it all the way up to 14 right now, and it changes between 10 billion, 9 billion to 12 billion. And something I've noticed is that per every $1.50 or dollar and some change equates to about $1 billion of market cap on this stock. So, or 0.5, yeah, or 0.8 billion, right? Of the total amount, like 50% to 80% of $1 billion. Each dollar equates to that. And that is significant because if this stock, right, and this company is making a total amount of revenue and their profit is a total amount, most of the company's value is coming from investors. Most of it. Because this fluctuates a lot. I've been looking at that and paying attention to that, because the more the market cap, moves up and down with the price of the stock of this vehicle maker, right, NIO, I tend to see that it's being controlled. The market cap is being controlled by the total amount that investors are putting in and out. And that concerns me because the real value of the company is nowhere near this much. This is due to shareholders' equity. So I'd keep that in mind and bear that in mind and pay close attention to that as well. It's going to be very interesting how this one plays out tomorrow. I just wanted to share that extra information. And as always, if you learned something new, subscribe. Hit the like button and let me know you watched this video. And don't forget to click on the button right up here above on the video that's popping up, because that video has some great information. If you haven't seen that series of mine, I highly encourage you to take a look at it. And if you like that video, check out the ones previously to it, so you can see how it built up till now. So hope you guys found this informative, learned something new as always, and share this with your friends and community. And thank you so much for watching, and let's make some money.